Number one dealer in the world. Now that's a big goal. So tell me why you want it.
My why is I want to be an example to my family. I want to take care, especially my young kids, my 7-year-old and a 3-year-old son. And where I am now, I want them to see me being an example that they can, like this 22-year-old young man right here. That the younger they get these disciplines, these processes, their life could be that much better.
So if you let's look at your current activities, okay? If you were going to 10x, would these activities be congruent with 10xing?
That I'm doing right now?
Yeah, no, okay? So then we're saying, are you willing to let go of some of these activities?
Oh, man. But I'm willing to let go, and I want to let go, but, it ain't no but. I gotta let go. I want to let go.
So what are you having a hard time letting go with? Because you can tell you're holding on to it.
Just finding the people that's in harmony with me.
Okay.
And in harmony, you just can't put anybody in this position doing what we do because it's just the liability of it. But so a lot, like I'm listening to you a lot. I find myself saying, okay, I can do this better. I can do it better. I can do it better. So you end up just doing it yourself, which is the 80% that I need to let go of.
Yeah, I want you to let go of it, and it's not your job. You've got to turn it over to the universe. You've got to write exactly what the characteristics of those people that you would need to attract.
Right.
Okay? And you've got to trust this process. And then you're going to start attracting them. Because it's very specific what you're doing. So you need somebody with specialized knowledge. Would you agree?
Correct.
Okay, but would you agree there's people with that knowledge out there?
Yes, there is.
Okay?
I agree.
I can give you an example. Like, if you would have asked me, like my mentor was on the other side of the world from where I lived. I would have never imagined one of my best friends is going to be somebody in their 80s. And somebody I would have never imagined it. But I needed somebody who had the specialized knowledge that would work with me.
Right.
And because my desire was so strong, my why was so strong, that's what ended up happening. So whenever I hear this, these are our blind spots, our preconceived acceptance of, I'll just do it myself. I'll just do it myself. I can understand it because you have a great work ethic, you have great drive. Then we go look at the 4 things we talked about this morning, okay? Number 1, do you feel like you're all in with the commitment?
Towards my goal or towards
your goal.
Sometimes I feel like I'm in it, sometimes I feel like I'm not.
Okay, yeah, I would agree. You're not all in yet. You'll know if you're all in because right away you're like, nope, it's done. Yeah. You'll know when it's all in. So we've got to work on that commitment, okay? And how you work on it, say, screw it. I'm just going all in. Like, simplify it. Just say, I'm going all in. I don't care how it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen because I promise you don't.
Right.
I can tell you with any goal that I've achieved, I never knew how it was going to happen. I can promise you that. But our job is to accept that idea and go all in. And then what's going to happen, all of a sudden, we're going to be like Mary over here, and we're going to attract stuff out of the blue when she's turning in a deficit that turns into a huge win for her. And I wouldn't even say win, I would call it a windfall. Right? A windfall. But you have to go to that unknown, but you can't go to the unknown. Nothing happens until we commit. Nothing happens until we make a commitment. So your job, the first step, is making the commitment. Okay? I told you this earlier. Whenever I set a goal or you set a goal, you're not going to know how it's going to happen. You don't have that confidence yet to that goal.
Right.
So that's why you're overthinking it, saying, I need this and I need this. What if we change the attitude towards, I'm going to attract the people with the right specialized knowledge, and I'm going to do everything I can until I attract it. It's a much different energy, right? Then we say, okay, are you willing to bet on yourself?
I would say yes.
I would say yes to that, okay? And we say, okay, so you're ready to bet on yourself. Are you ready to increase your standards?
Yes.
So we got 3 of the 4. That 4th one is the one we've got to embed. Now, I want you to think about something that you did at some point in your life that was impossible, that turned into possible. That you could look like, oh my, I don't know how I did it. Like this was a goal that I achieved. What was it?
Starting this business.
Starting this business. How old were you?
I was 37.
37?
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
49.
So you've done it for 12 years. And to me, that's a great length of time. That's a great length of time. So you want to go into that. Think about where you were at 37. Was it a crazy idea?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah? It was a crazy idea.
Yeah, people looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, now look at it, and you're like, now it's my norm. Like now I'm comfortable with my business, right?
Right.
But I want you to start getting uncomfortable with it again. Because when we're comfortable, we lose hunger.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you've lost any hunger towards it?
I felt like I lost it about 3 years ago until I came across this and I gained it back.
Yeah.
But then it's there, you're battling with your own mind, and plus, I think I heard somebody talking about, the company you keep to.
Mm-hmm.
You're fighting with that. So you're trying to find a balance in that and not the I don't give a F attitude.
Uh-huh. Yeah, hey, it's a great attitude. I mean, you know what? When you operate with the I don't give a F attitude, you open the space for only things that are in harmony with you. Like, it's a real thing. When you're worried about, like, if we're worried about what Karen's thinking of us right now, we're screwed. Like, both of us. Like, both of us are. And, like, Kieran's a great guy, like, but I will tell you, if Kieran's worried about what we're thinking, he's screwed. Yeah. So your goal is going to take you to be courageous. You've got to be courageous to achieve the big goals. The small goals, you don't have to be courageous, but you've been courageous, so we go back to the memory and we say you've already done it. Once I can get you to commit, it's going to change the game. It's going to be like a grand piano is off your back. Because that's what you want more than anything else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
But that old program, something.
It's like running a 400 meter.
Mm-hmm.
That last 100 meter.
Yeah, that last 100 meter.
That's the one, man.
Well, what I would like you to do is just change your perception of that last 100 meter. What if I told you, if all you did was commit, it would be impossible to fail? Would you commit?
Yes.
Because it is impossible to fail once you commit. See, because when you commit, you're like, this is like, no shit, no kidding, this is what I'm doing. Like, I am doing this. And no matter how many no's you get, how many people you go through who don't have that specialized knowledge, but you're going to build your core values, so it's just going to be a checklist. Check, check, check. I like their pleasing personality. Check. They're willing to go the extra mile. Check. You're just going to have a checklist of it, and then you're going to attract it to you. But in the meantime, you're still going to get better with your processes, and you're going to master your rituals, and then you're going to master your standards. So now you're working from a place of leverage. How long do you think this would take?
If I commit to it, I'll give it 6 months, 6 to 7 months.
Okay, 6 to 7 months. So let's go back to your why. Tell me your why again.
Freedom, financial freedom,
Uh-huh.
be an example to my family, become the #1 Caterpillar dealer in South Florida, and eventually the world.
Okay, which one is the greatest part of your why?
The financial freedom.
The financial freedom. Okay? So, and then if I could tell you, you will have financial freedom if you commit. Are you willing to commit?
Yes, sir.
Give me a handshake. This is a commitment.
I
If
am.
I'm going to talk to you in 6 months, like it's a commitment. It's an ironclad commitment.
I am.
You've got to put yourself on the hook, and you've got to have a support group of people who think bigger. Don't focus on what you're missing.
Right.
Let's shift it to how can I have more accountability in my life? Okay, because the way the world is, you don't need them physically, and you can still have it.
Right.
Like, you don't need it physically. I can promise you that. But having it is very important. Your environment is very important. So you want to be running with people who are further than you, because that's how you're going to get there. See, I want you every day for me. I want you writing your why out. I want it in front of you. I want that why in front of you. So every time you start weakening with the commitment, you're going to go back to the why. You're going to be like, nope, I'm all in. And by being all in, it's going to take you to where you want to go. Okay? The dominant of two ideas is always expressed in our subconscious mind. Well, right now, the dominant for you is chaos. So what we want to do is neutralize the chaos. When it starts happening, say, I'm just going to deal with it. Once it's done, it's done. And then you got to leave it alone. Because once it's done, there's nothing more you could do. Would you agree?
Yes.
So it's a habit that we want to make. And what happens is, let's say you let it go on for 12 hours. Okay? If I can get you to turn 12 into 8, 8 into 4, 4 into 2, 2 into moments, over the next 60 days, it's going to be a huge accomplishment. I don't need you to go from 12 hours using to moments, because it's not realistic yet. It's not part of your discipline, but it will be. But give yourself some grace, and then say, imagine if I went from 12 to 8 for 2 weeks. That would take 4 hours of pressure off of you.
Right.
Compounded over time, that's a big idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do we still have a commitment?
Yeah, I'm committed. I'm committed to the process.
Okay. What was your biggest takeaway so far today?
Staying in the moment of staying in the know, and not looking too far ahead and not looking back. Staying in the know and processing and staying with my processes, basically.